everybody. I have Denis St. Pierre on the line. How are we doing today, Denis?
Pretty good yourself, Bruce.
Good, good. So this is something different. I haven't had anybody that deals with seat covers or seats or anything like that on the show, and I'm sure that is a pressing point for many drivers. So before we get into your company, you work for high tech antimicrobial. Is it antimicrobial truck seat covers? Is that the whole name? Holy smokes!
Yeah, that's the name.
Let's just go with high tech for the rest of this interview.
Yeah, exactly.
So before we get into the seat covers and what you guys do, let's talk about you a little bit. Tell us how you got into the transportation world, seat covers, those kind of things.
Well, I was driving a truck for 5 years, and I always loved trucks. I have friends who drive trucks, owns trucks, and I said to myself that they have the same problem I had at the time when I was driving a truck, humidity and odors in a truck for many years. And I said, I've got to do something to, solve the problem of those truck drivers.
Okay, so you used to drive, and so what were the problems they were having? You mentioned, I mean, it's antibiotic. So just give us an idea of some of the problems maybe they were having. That you
Well,
saw.
they were having problem with humidity
Okay,
and odors as well, because, you've been driving for long hours, and the seat itself is full of bacteria, never been cleaned.
right.
So that's why I decided to do something about it. How I get involved in it, I was working for a company that used silver on sheets and mattress pads. I'm sorry, for medical use.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, they can eliminate bacteria with that silver. Can be good for my friends truck drivers. So that's what we started to get involved in it.
Okay, so explain to me what silver is. What is that? I'm assuming it's some kind of material. I'm not sure.
Silver is like the silver coins. It's silver. It
Okay, and that's
silver
in the seat.
kills.
You make the seat with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, it's like it's going in the fabric. It's
Okay.
like in the fabric when you do the fabric, so it lasts forever. And silver kills all bacteria.
Oh.
They cannot live anymore. So that's what they use it in the medical to make sure that they cannot have any bacteria on sheets or mattress pads. Even the astronauts vaporize their suit with silver before they go out in space to make sure that they don't bring any bacteria back.
Okay, and so okay, what kind of form is it? Is it a liquid thing? Is it a hard material? What kind of form is it?
It's a liquid that we add on top of the fabric, and it's like a bake afterwards,
Okay.
so it stays there forever.
Okay, okay. And it so once it's in the seat or the seat cover, it now will not let any bacteria hold on to it. Am I getting this correct?
Yeah, exactly. You're right. So there will never be any bacteria from, even if they were sitting somewhere else and then they go to sit in their trucks, they don't bring any bacteria because the silver kills all the oxygen to the bacteria, so they cannot grow or live in the fabric.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would think that would be maybe an owner operator is not so concerned with that, but certainly companies, right, where people are changing. I know in my career, I drove for 25 years. In my career, I've I've changed trucks almost every 2 3 years. I think I was getting
Yeah.
a truck, and so that I would think that would be a really big draw for company. How long now? Tell us about high tech. How long have you guys been around? What have you done in the past? How's that?
We've been in business for almost 10 years manufacturing seat covers. We started manufacturing seat cover for city buses because
Okay,
those guys switch buses maybe 3 or 4 times a day.
right.
And they had the same problem that you had when you were driving a truck for somebody else, the sweat of the previous driver and everything. So we started with those guys.
Yeah.
And then, as I mentioned, I always been involved with trucking. So my friends asked me to develop a seat cover for those guys.
Okay.
So that's what we started with one of my friends who's still having after 7 years.
Right.
And then we had a company, a mine in Chile, who asked us to provide a sample because they had a problem with their drivers, sitting 16 hours shift and their seat. And that was only the only product who solved the problem of sweating and smell in their truck was our product.
Oh, okay, all right. And how does a driver? So a driver buys the seat cover. Obviously, it's got to be how do you wash it? Is it just a regular laundromat type wash or?
Oh, it's machine washable. You can wash it at home, and it's very, very easy.
Okay, okay. Because I'm thinking
It's easy
drivers.
to clean and keeps its shape for years and years. It's very, very tough. It's a Canadian-made product, so we don't put anything bad thing in our seat cover.